About 2 weeks ago, I joined the Brackeys Gamejam 2025.2, where I got a week to work on a game from the theme Risk It for the Biscuit, which, I mean, isn't inherently a bad theme, but everything I knew at this point was that I wanted to make a game set in the Wildwest. So from the start, I had already made it a tiny bit harder for me to actually come up with a good idea for a game. Yeah, not a great start. But after 2 hours of back and forth, I finally came up with the best idea ever. So, 1 week to make the greatest game ever, or at least something like that. And as a professional game dev, I obviously started with the visuals, before I even had the slightest idea about what the gameplay would look like or even play like. But I did know that the game was going to involve guns, some Wild West shit, and yeah, that's about everything. So I modeled a revolver using a reference image from Fallout New Vegas. And it actually looks pretty good, until I tried texturing it. Yeah. Who would have thought that the guy who hasn't used more than 5 textures for his games for the last 3 years would know how to texture a gun and also make it look good? Anyways, I scrapped that, brought in my trusty old shader, tweaked it a little, and now we have this. I mean, I actually think it looks pretty good. Right now we only have these cubes and whatnot, so why not model a simple house and a cactus to put around the scene? And as I added these models to this empty space, I realized something. The gun doesn't have any animations, which it obviously needs. So I got straight to animating and boom, we got animations. To be honest, I think this animation looks dope, and I have wanted to try a stop motion like animation for some time now, and this was like the perfect time to try it out, so yeah. Enough about animations though. This world is getting pretty lonely, and I need someone to show these animations to. Boom! NPC walking around. You can even go up to them and talk to them. What I did was I just copied all the NPCs from my main game, Terrified, and put an AI agent on them. Told them to like wander around the map and stand still if you want to talk to them. So yeah, that is all I did for day 1. I actually made a lot of progress towards a finished game, and wait. I forgot to tell you the idea for the game. Picture this. You are a sheriff going around the town trying to find a bandit. You can ask civilians where the bandit might be, and they will tell you how close you are to the bandit. Now, when you think you have found the bandit, you can try to shoot them or shoot into the air, which will make every civilian run about. But not the bandit. The bandit will try to run away from you and escape the town. But how does Risk It for the Biscuit fit in here, you ask? Well, you get an amount of money when you enter the town. This amount is your payout at the end of the level. So when you finish the level, the amount of money at the top of the screen is what you get. And it goes down the longer you take to find the bandit. So that means you can try to rush it and get a higher payout, but maybe also hit a few civilians while you're at it. Or you can take your time making sure it's the right guy, not hitting any civilians, but yeah, you're broke. It's not the best idea ever, but definitely not the worst one. So yeah, don't worry if you didn't quite get it, I'm going to explain it better along the video. Didn't have that much time to work on the game today since I had a job interview, but I still got to have some cool shit like this new gun. Yeah, very cool. But nothing happens when you shoot. The civilians just don't care. So I made them care. With this big bubble. Each time you shoot, every civilian inside this big bubble will run circles freaking out, like normal people. And yes, I have already thought about adding voices to the NPCs. So, with my talented skill in the voice line industry, I now bring you this masterpiece.
Oh no, partner. Our partner. Oh, I've been shot.
What has he got? If not himself.
Oh, I've been shot. I'm dead.
These are just temporary. Onto a more serious topic though, these NPCs don't really stand out from one another. Why is that a problem, you ask? Well, if they had clothing, instead of looking like this, they would instead look like this. And I mean, it would also be a lot easier to find the bandit, not having everyone look the same. Some other things I did this day was changing around the font and animation for pop-ups and made the cactuses flat and always facing the camera, which looks a lot better. Right now, when you go and talk to the NPCs, they will just say something like, "Oh, I've never seen this bandit," or something like that, every single time. Not very helpful in finding the bandit. Well, I mean, we don't have a bandit yet, and for now we can just take this NPC, and they're a bandit now. Just for now, we're gonna say that this guy is the bandit, so we can actually make the NPCs say how close to the bandit they are. And on this bandit, we will add a detection system, so that every 3 seconds it checks for NPCs in 6 differently sized zones, and depending on which zone the NPCs land in, they will get a specific dialogue that they can say to the player. Obviously this isn't very good for performance, because what if I made the zone very big and there's 100 NPCs in the zone, it would update 100 NPCs and you're not even going to talk to most of them, so yeah. So I changed it into the civilians checking how close they are to the bandit every time you try and talk to them. So let's say they're not in one of these zones, they will say that, "Oh, I have never seen the bandit." And if they're pretty fucking close, they will say that they are pretty fucking close. Pretty simple. But you can't still figure out where the bandit is by just talking to the NPCs. So now, if you think you're close to the bandit, or just want to risk it, just shoot into the air and hope that you find the bandit, because when you shoot into the air, all the civilians will run around, and the bandit will do a stagger animation. So they will stand still for a second, and then they will try to run away. And if you don't find them, too bad, I guess. So far, the game is actually pretty fun to play. I keep trying to see how fast I can find the bandit, but it's also very hard. When adding the cosmetics to the NPCs, I had also coded it so that the bandit would generate its random clothing first, and then the civilians would generate theirs. And while picking out their clothing, they would check it against the bandit so that the bandit would have a unique look to them. Maybe not stand out, but you get the idea. Well, the system doesn't really work when you don't let the player actually see what the bandit looks like. Who would have thought? So I added this little bandit guy in the left corner of the screen so that the player can see what the bandit looks like. And that just made the game so fucking easy. I went from taking 10 minutes to find the bandit sometimes to finding it in 30 seconds. Jesus Christ. You know what also is very easy to find? Kindness in your heart. Maybe check out my new membership. Nah, I'm just kidding. But for real though, I just started a new membership here on YouTube. You don't have to buy it, but to those who want to support me with more, it's there if you want to buy it. It's like $2 or something. But just watching this video is already enough for me. So you don't have to feel forced. Like, look at this gnome emoji though. Like, I mean, it's almost worth the $2, man. When I woke up on day 4, I chose that today was a break day. Because if I work on this 24/7, yeah, my mind is gonna get fucked. So obviously, I decided to make new models for the houses, a saloon, a sheriff's office, a store, and 3 other houses. You know, really makes the game feel more lived in, as if it's the one thing that the visuals needed, rather than just a bunch of models plopped in a scene. With these new models in the game, I can also start to focus on the gameplay, which I had been putting off because I thought it would be pretty hard to add a timer and money system, but it was actually the easiest thing to add in the whole project. Phew. Anyways, it's already 1:30 AM. Yeah, great break day. So as a last tiny little thing, very tiny thing, I added a cool intro sequence where you hold up a wanted sign, you get to see the bandit for 3 seconds, then a very cool countdown starts. Go look for the bandit. This intro sequence is like a middle ground of the things I mentioned before, with not knowing what the bandit looked like making the game very hard, and knowing what the bandit looked like at all times made it very easy. And no, you cannot pause the game, cheese it while the sequence plays. I think that is all for today. And I also needed some sleep, which I had actually noticed as I was going to sleep later and later for every day of this game jam. May or may not be foreshadowing something later in the video, I don't know, maybe. Alright, so I have something to confess. The reason I grinded out so much yesterday, day 4, was because I thought the game jam was ending on Saturday when it was ending on Sunday. So last day, day 4, I thought was day 5. Yeah. So me thinking that this day, day 5, was day 6, I decided to spend this day also grinding out when I had a whole other day. But anyways, back to the game. The game isn't really a game yet. I mean, you have to start and you can go around asking people where the bandit is, and you can find the bandit, but there's no menu, there's no level selection. You can't even use your money yet. Like, if the bandit escapes, nothing happens, they just run in place. So there's actually no losing state right now. And if you kill the bandit, nothing happens. Like, there is so much we still need. So, let's grind out some more. Alright, after making these levels, and if you recognize the levels names, I love you. This area with the new level selection and shop, and a new gun, only at this point did I figure out I had another day to work on the game. Yeah. Let's check out this first level here. It's a very small town, and if we shoot into the air and let the bandit escape, whoa, you can now see that a cutscene plays. And boom, we get sent back to the all-new menu. And yes, you lose all your progress when failing a level, which, albeit, was a very controversial decision, but I probably used the excuse of it adding more risk to the game. But I mean, look at this cool menu though. Oh yeah, and I also came up with a name for the game. Wanted, Dead or Broke. After grinding for almost 2 days straight, I wanted to take a break. And I was also going mini golfing, so I couldn't even work on the game. So I put out a playtest for my Discord server to play, so that I could dedicate the last day, day 6, to working on all the small features and stuff that still need to be implemented. What basically happened this day is I got a lot of feedback from the playtest. Most of it was negative, but I still got feedback. To sum it up, the gameplay wasn't really fun, and there wasn't enough things to spend your money on, so money didn't really have any value to the player, so the game didn't really work with the theme. So to make the game more fun to play, I made the bandit go around different places around the map, doing some shady stuff. This kind of fixes one of the biggest problems with the game, that the game was very RNG heavy. Before this, I had a lot of moments where a civilian would tell me that the bandit was right here, but then I looked, I couldn't find them, and all of a sudden the civilian said that they had never seen them. Like, what? So now it should be easier to spot them, but only like when you're close to them, so you still can't spot them from like a mile away. And for the money problem, I added power-ups. One for faster speed and one for a higher amount of money at the start of a level. Also changed it around so you don't start with the rifle, but start with the new double-barrel shotgun, which if you stand more than 3 centimeters away from the bandit and shoot, you will hit a civilian. So now there's actually more reason to upgrade to a better weapon. I also added a restart button to the levels, which is just nice to have, and sometimes you also forget what the bandit looks like. And that is actually everything for day 6. Other than updating the yes.io page and not uploading a new build because, you know, I had day 7 to do that, nothing more happened. Well, I mean, there's a tiny thing. I did stay up until 4 AM grinding out these features. But don't worry guys, I have set my alarm so I can wake up before the game jam ends. It's 4 AM. It ends in 8 hours. I can make it, right? It is 7 minutes past 12. The game jam ends at 12. I missed the fucking deadline by 7 minutes. You can't submit a game later than the deadline. They are very strict about that. I just spent the whole week just to wake up 7 minutes past the deadline. I mean, at least I still have a cool game to show off though. At the point of making this video, I still don't know who won, and if I take too long to make this video, I will put it on screen. But all I can say is, I would have totally won if my game got into the game jam. I'm just. But I mean, honestly, I don't regret a thing. The gameplay loop was kind of mid, and I mean, maybe locking myself into a Wildwest theme wasn't the smartest idea. But I still came out of this jam having learned a lot. I got to try a new animation style, mess around with shaders, even recorded some professional voice acting. But the biggest lesson, not everything needs to be perfect. Usually with my main game Terrified, I've been stuck in a kind of mindset of, oh, I need to build every system from scratch so the final game will be flawless. I need to make everything polished and perfect. And that just ends up slowing me down a lot. With this jam, I just made stuff, moved on, and only came back later if it really needed fixing. That is something I want to bring with me into the future. So yeah, even if the game never officially made it into the Brackeys Gamejam, and even if it was totally avoidable, it was still 100% worth risking it for the biscuit. Because in the end, I got a biscuit, but maybe not the one I thought I was risking it for.